and we'll get more insight on Evil Geniuses as I check my notes here. We've got... No, that can't be right. It is right. Arteezy, we have been explicitly requesting you on multiple occasions, and this time I finally gave up on trying to get a hold of you, and I was just like, let EG send whoever they want. And yet, somehow you show up here. What is going on? Why are you my interviewee?
I was just summoned here. My manager came up to me and said, it's your turn. Then I didn't have an excuse available. Usually I have some like tummy ache or something, and that's what I ride on, but I don't have anything this time.
Okay, well, we appreciate the sacrifice regardless. Thanks so much for taking the time to not only speak to us now, but also speak to us during our pregame interview, because we heard that you guys actually have a little bit of competitive history with 5-Rat-4 stuff in scrims, and that took a lot of us here by surprise, because for a long time there was this maybe propaganda being spread that EG did not commonly scrim North American teams. Was that ever the case?
I don't think so. I don't think we scrimmed very often in the past, and that's probably why that even started. But these days, especially with how the new circuit is, we scrim a lot. We scrim like very frequently. We try to get, if we feel like we need more games, we'll just go and play like a third set instead of a second set, and we end up playing teams like 5-Rat.
What do you mean by a third set instead of a second set? Explain that to me.
Oh, I mean, we usually play 2 sets a day. If we feel like we still want to play more, we'll ask around for a third set last minute, and that's usually we find some NA team because they scrim very late.
I see.
Like, usually our day starts 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock, and then we play Europe or NA teams. And then around 6 is where the NA teams scrim other NA teams, so we'll just try to fit in there. There's a spot.
And so usually these sets are not the same teams over and over again. You'll do 3 different teams on your 3 set days?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, interesting. I mean, I'm glad to hear that, because I know for the days where you probably did not scrim as frequently, it seemed like North America was very top heavy, and it almost felt like you guys were being protective, that you're like, oh, we're so much better than the rest of NA. We don't need to share our practice with you guys. What are we gonna get out of it? So I'm glad that the culture is changing, because I do think that North America as a region is getting stronger. Do you feel that as well over the course of the past, I guess, 9 months of the competitive season?
Yeah, absolutely. I think at least the top 4 teams of every season have been pretty stable and consistent. We always scrim each other, and we learn a lot from each other, and it's been developing to a way where in the past, if we did those scrims, it'd be stomps, but now they're a lot more even, and it seems like whatever happens in those scrims are very good for both teams involved, which is very healthy for everybody. Yeah. I think that's why over time it has led to, teams like TSM doing well at the major. NA got second place at the major 4 times in a row. 4 times in a row,
baby. 4 times in a row. We got them silver medals on lock. Effie, you got any questions for Arteezy?
Yeah, so speaking of the circuit and how a lot of the top 4 teams in NA have been stable and improving, I was curious what you think about the bottom 3 teams, the ones who come out of Division 2, like how they have been looking in the last year. Do you think that the DPC format has helped them at all, or do you think there are still ways to go for like the 5-Rats of the world?
Yeah, I don't really know. It just seems like those 2 teams just end up being recycled. It's kind of like maybe the same players in different teams, and that just tends to happen. I'm not really sure if it's necessarily working, and I don't think it's the system's fault, because I think there are just a lack of new NA players coming in. There's like it's kind of like recycled players coming in on different teams, trying to form different compositions. I wouldn't say the system's not working. I think it's just like the infrastructure of the NA scene is kind of poor right now.
Mm-hmm. And like, what steps do you think should be taken to improve that, if any? Because while the top 4 have looked really solid this tour, I think there's still a lot to be desired from these teams that are getting recycled around. So do you think there's anything that can happen, or what would need to happen basically for them to become more competitive? Like sponsorships, third-party tournaments, like what would you attribute it to?
That's a good question. I'm not really sure, because I think it just lies in the problem of like the American culture, and a lot of people don't really feel interested. Like the young kids, the younger generations don't really want to invest a lot of time in Dota. I'm not sure how it is like in League. Maybe it's similar, but it just seems like the longer and longer this game goes, the less North Americans are interested in playing.
Mhm.
So I think that's where the real issue lies. I do think there would be like, it's never a bad thing to have additional support, some third-party tournaments and all those things, but yeah, it's just hard. There's just a very big lack of players, big lack of new people coming in and really wanting to push themselves to invest in this game because it's a huge time commitment.
Yeah, I can see that entirely. So this is unrelated, but I have to ask. So you play with your knees up all the time. Every time the cam goes on you, your knees are just up on the desk. Do you have any knee problems? Have you experienced any pain or?
I don't
You know
think
that
so.
it's
I think
not
I have
great,
knee
right?
problems. I feel I have knee problems if I sit normal. Like I think
Well,
I'm
yeah,
so
that's-
used to this.
I think that would be
I'm
knee
just-
problems then.
Yeah, I mean, technically, yeah, but I feel more comfortable sitting in this like weird position than I feel like I don't notice it outside of my day. When I sit on this
Okay.
chair, I'm just like, whatever happens in my screen, I'm locked to it. And then when I stand up, I don't feel any problems. I don't feel when I'm sleeping I have any problems because I think I also sleep in a very messed up position. That doesn't help.
Okay. I was curious because I sit the same way on my computer desk, and I had COVID recently, and when I had COVID, I had like the worst joint pains of my life, but it was
Oh, my.
mostly in my knees, and that's when I realized that like all the years of sitting like an idiot had caught up to me. So
Yeah, this is definitely not sustainable. I'll agree. I don't know what's gonna happen in a couple of years.
yeah, you should get on that just based on a prior experience. But yeah, thank you, and congratulations on your win.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Right.
having me, guys.
No. We're not done with you
No, no,
yet.
no.
Purge
What?
gets a
What?
question.
We're
You're not
switching
getting
to
away
Purge.
that easy.
Oh, sorry, Perch. Sorry.
It's okay. She was trying to clarify it was my turn, not let you go. Okay, I just have like two quick questions. Since you guys have all been pros for such a long time, would you feel that over time that being a pro player has felt more like a job and less of like a on a team with your friends type situation? Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think because when you're younger, you're just also more like naive to everything. I think, and with the more you do it, the more you kind of get accustomed to everything that happens around you.
So with that said, and the fact that you guys have obviously have a great org behind you, are there things that you guys try to do as a team to like build more rapport, especially when you're roster swapping? Do you guys like go do things together other than get food, or what kind of stuff do you guys do in your free time that's like group activities?
I think we have some plans about we're gonna go golfing or something. So we try like because we have a pretty heavy schedule where we scrim quite frequently for a long period of time, like 6 days a week, and we use that one day. We've been trying to use that one day to do something, but in those like in our break days, there's like some bad weather or something. But this time we planned, we're gonna go golfing. Hopefully there's no problems with that. So we do try, other than like go out to eat dinner together.
Okay, and last questions. When you guys go out to eat, is it difficult to figure out where you want to go? Like, do you guys argue about it?
I don't think it's that difficult. I think most of us don't like. We'll just let other people choose. It's kind of that's how it goes. If one guy has like, no one will say anything, and then maybe one guy like Bulba or something will say, "How about this?" and then we'll probably deny it, and then Tal will say something, and then we'll just do that. It's like I don't really like the recommendations that Bulba has for restaurants.
Yeah, it's because he's vegetarian, bro. He has the hardest restrictions of all of you.
Yes, yeah, that has to do with it for sure. But he does like going to steak houses. He likes the sides there.
Yeah, the macaroni and cheese. Oh my god, I can 100% relate. My last question does not pertain to Dota. What's your review of Honestly Nevermind? You think Drake fell off, or you think he still got it?
I can understand why some people like this album. I personally didn't like it. I only liked the last song on the album with 23 Savage. That was like the only song I really enjoyed. But the other tunes, they're good to like to vibe with. I suppose that's the word.
It seemed
But
like a generic
they're not
summer
like my
album.
kind of songs that I want to vibe with. But I
Yeah.
can see the appeal,
Okay.
Tsunami, wait. Before we go,
Yeah.
I genuinely, I'm so curious. So you guys think golfing is fun? Like you get up
I have
early.
never
and you-
gone. I have never gone golfing.
Okay,
Wow.
okay.
I don't know.
That is a very interesting choice of hobby. I mean, Yeah, no.
Well, okay, so I'm
Let me know how
envisioning
it
it's like
goes,
a
yeah.
it's like a top golf kind of thing. It's not actually like going to the like a golf
Yeah,
course.
yeah.
It's top golf, right?
I forgot what it was called, but that's right. Like where you just take the.
You just drive. Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
it's like a more, I don't know, Effie, are you familiar with top golf? It's like an arcade version of golf.
No.
Oh, okay. It's like
Like mini golf?
it's the opposite of mini golf because instead of just doing tiny putts all the time, you're just smacking the shit out of it, and that's what that equivalent of golf is. It's great team building. I think you guys will learn a lot about each other there.
I hope so.
Well, either way, it seems like the team chemistry is going well so far ever since your 2 or 3 roster has been put together. So congratulations on the win versus 5 Rat 4 stuff, and thanks for talking to us.
Thank you guys. Bye bye.
Bye bye.